And one of them is a lecturer at the University of Ghana. He's with the Political Science Department. His name is Professor Ransford Gyampo. He's joining me on the line. Prof, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Yeah, well, thanks.
I know you and those who called for the president to rescind his decision would be vindicated, but I'm sure you're not just looking for vindication, but you are looking more at strengthening our institutions. How are you receiving today's news from the Supreme Court?
Well, I think it's a victory for democracy, a victory for good governance, and it is good for all of us as a people. My little worry is that I'm not a lawyer. I do not want to be a lawyer. But this matter that happened, I mean, it was a straightforward matter. We all knew, even without reading law, we knew that it was a bad case. The president had no business acting the way he acted in ousting the Auditor General. He didn't have business doing that. And that's how come we spoke against it and sought to draw his attention that what he did was illegal. It also shows that he didn't have much respect for the idea of good governance and the quest for countervailing authority, and accountability. But he ignored all of this and he perpetuated this kind of thing. And I was thinking that it was a straightforward matter that shouldn't have taken all this while for the Supreme Court to handle such a simple matter that even we, ordinary people who are non-lawyers, knew that it was wrong. But it took them all this while. You see, it's a great precedent they have set. But in trying to set a good precedent, you don't have to allow bad governance to fester and to destroy things before you set a good precedent. Now you are saying what the president did was illegal, but the man cannot go back to act as Auditor General. And so it means, is it deliberate that you allowed bad governance to fester for all this while and waited for the time that by the time you give a ruling, the man can no longer go? I mean, we should be thinking about some of these things. Justice delayed would also allow bad governance to fester. And sometimes some of these things, they are handled expeditiously to ensure that bad things are not perpetuated or are not allowed to fester in the body politic. And I was thinking that the Supreme Court would have seen the agency in expeditiously putting a rest or adjudicating this matter, because it was a straightforward matter. Like I said, even those of us who do not know law and who do not want to be reading law, we knew that the president goofed, and it didn't show that he cherished the dogmas and principles of accountability. And so we spoke against it, and I'm wondering why it took the Supreme Court all this while. And so, yes, it is good for us, but I'm saying in trying to set the kind of precedent that has been set, you do not do so by allowing bad governance to fester for a long time.
So Domelevo obviously cannot go back to that position. He's long retired. Incidentally, tomorrow will be his second anniversary of retirement. But again, we have always been told consistently by the people in the law world that the wheels of justice grind slowly. So essentially, the end is what justifies what happens.
No. It is a bogus cliche that they use to perpetuate injustice on ordinary people. Sometimes they have to be proactive. You don't pander. We should be thinking people challenging status quo, and then not without always necessarily seeking to pander to what does not work. That principle or cliche that the wheels of justice grind slowly must be challenged by right thinking people. We have the penchant as a developing country. It happens everywhere. Developing country people have a penchant for pandering to things that do not work without anybody daring to challenge it. It doesn't help us. And that is why we are where we are today. The man has been told that what happened to him was illegal, but he cannot go back to that institution. Okay? And so it is very bad. We don't have to pander to things that do not work.
I see, but now he cannot go back. Obviously, like I said, the decision has been made. There's no remedy that has been given to him specifically. Do you think that the Supreme Court should have said he should be compensated in one way or the other?
Well, so I don't. Maybe we are not privy to the full contents of the ruling, but it appears what the Supreme Court said. They didn't make a consequential order asking him to go back, because I'm sure that they knew that, I mean, the man has retired. But maybe if we get the full fact or the full complement of the ruling, we'll be able to know what is in there, because they just cannot give that ruling without also thinking about some compensation. By all means, they'll have to compensate. Otherwise, then how do you know the relevance of this ruling?
I see. Before I let you go, there is something too that is in the news that the president is asking Electoral Commission staff to present their CVs to the presidency. You have been with the IEA in the past, Institute of Economic Affairs. You've been busy with governance issues. You have worked with the Electoral Commission for many years in the past in your other life. Is this a normal thing?
Well, for the president to ask directors of the Electoral Commission to submit their CVs to him. I mean, when I saw the letter, I thought it was too bad to be true. So I initially dismissed it, but later I said no. Let me try to find out from some members of the commission, and so I did my own calls. I spoke to former members of the commission, former directors of the commission, and then some current officers of the commission, and they were all surprised. They found it strange. But what is worrying is that even though they were surprised and they found it strange, they were also not willing to act to defy such orders. But what is important for them to know, which I sought to draw their attention to, was the fact that the commission is an independent commission, and it is clothed with the necessary legalities to defy orders from the executive president that attempts to undermine the independence of the commission. I mean, you are asking for their CVs for what? Is it the president who appointed those directors? And is he trying to give them a job? Or is he trying to question the authenticity of what they have achieved? Is he trying to question their promotion processes and all that? I mean, these are matters that the independent commission has internal arrangements to handle.
Or could he be possibly looking for maybe new people to occupy positions with the Electoral Commission, and he wants to check their competencies?
New people, no. It is not the mandate or the duty of the president to be appointing directors of the Electoral Commission. They have their own recruitment system. People have been promoted as directors based on meritocracy. The Electoral Commission, the president is not the one who is supposed to be appointing directors of the commission. And so why does the president want to extend his tentacles of political kinkonism to independent commissions? This is a commission that has had its independence battered and is currently suffering from serious legitimacy deficits. If you look at the way and manner Charlotte Osei was handed, out away from the place. If you look at the way recently some political party apparatchiks were recruited to go and serve on the commission, that brought about the criticisms from civil society and all that. And if you are asking again that now directors should be submitting their CVs to for what? What does this president want to achieve?
Well, how should the Electoral Commission respond to this, if it matters at all?
No, you see, the Electoral Commission must also not be seen to be swallowing hook, line, and sinker every order that seeks to undermine their independence. And like I said, they are clothed with the needed powers and independence and authority to be able to say no, respectfully to the president. To the president, you can tell other state-owned agencies to be bringing their CVs, but we are an independent commission, and so we can't yield to this particular demand. They can respectfully tell the president, and nothing will happen to them. But like I said, it appears that in Ghana here, we like to gossip behind people's back. We like to talk and criticize, say things behind people's back. But when we are really confronted with reality, we don't talk. So They are not willing to talk, and some of them have unfortunately complied.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Prof.